Tristan! It's a relief to see a friendly face. Do come up.
Virgil! Ah, thank the architect I found you intact. We visited the Supreme Arbiter's office in Central Control and found something... impossible.
Impossible? Why is it impossible? So that you may claim ignorance as to the truth of what you've uncovered? Fine. If you're still so thick-skulled, Tristan, then I can see I've no choice but to confess. Hold. Do you hear movement?
Attention, Arbiter Virgil Montag. Under the jurisdiction of the Council, we stand to bring you low. Do not resist.
Damnation! I knew the Sentinels were looking for me, but I did not expect they would come to this place. We have no choice but to fight. I can operate our turrets from this location, but you must engage the Sentinels head-on to prevent our being overwhelmed. Go now!
Arbiter Montag, lay down your arms. Surrender and die.
Yeah.
By operating at peak efficacy.
Those fools were but an expeditionary force. I've no doubt the bulk of their number remains on the surface. I shall take an alternate path to prepare a surprise for our would-be assailants. Then I shall flank them as you engage them.
Hold. You were beginning to say something before we were ambushed. I would care to hear it.
We cannot have this conversation until we are safe. Engage those on the surface and I shall join you. Go now.
I shall reduce them to a slurry!
Recharging as fast as I can, Commander!
Virgil! Virgil!
Impossible. Damn, we have...
Arbiter Montag, lay down your arms. Surrender and die.
We got company.
Lethal measures at the ready, Commander!
Those fools were...
Sentinels. Fight corruption and restore them.
This paradigm we serve supplies
Rough customers about.
I have for my crew. Let's get you healed.
As soon as my robustness is Virgil, enough! Our being at odds with the Council is one thing, but that was a small army! What have you done?
You already know whether you're willing to admit it or not. Do you sincerely have a need for me to spell it out before you'll face the truth? Very well then. Tristan, you stand before the murderer of the Supreme Arbiter.
I don't believe this. The Council must have captured you and sent you to mental refreshment. It's the only...
Open your eyes, Rao. Those Sentinels were here with due cause. The elimination of a murderer. The Supreme Arbiter was planning to send a message in her final moments, pledging allegiance to the Council. Who do you think bore witness to those final moments? I did what I thought was just.
No. You lied to me?
I had to. I knew that if you learned what had transpired, why I did what I did, it would destroy you.
Would it? Or were you just trying to save yourself from my wrath? You're right. You're right. I can't let emotion get the better of me. This is not the first time we've encountered the paradoxical nature of Protectorate law. Each time we did, you convinced me to stay my hand, and I do not regret those I spared. Our prior conclusions inform my present feelings. I theoretically understand what Virgil did, for there was no proper decision he could make. But I cannot view this objectively. Virgil killed our mentor. It's madness. I cannot simply let that stand. Can I? My hesitation is more reflective of a weakness of character. One does not hesitate in the Protectorate. One acts. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. Each encounter we have experienced together has left me torn. And this circumstance is more extreme than all others combined. But the law is clear on this. It is explicitly illegal for an inferior to execute their superior. The issue must be accelerated to a higher authority. But Is addressing traitorism not the utmost priority of any arbiter? Is not the betrayal of everything we stand for more significant than a breach of protocol? No. And even if there was, maybe this was right. We must think for ourselves if Arcadia is to survive. I cannot bring myself to execute my sworn brother. It could be better if I did not. I cannot be sure this path does not fly in the face of all I believe, or speak to some weakness at the depths of my being. I know not what to make of the Supreme Arbiter's betrayal. I'll have to ruminate on it for some time. But that aside, I forgive you, Virgil. You are spared.
Good on you, Rao. Ain't healthy to let the hammer solve all your problems.
I don't know what to say. I just wish there had been some other option. That's all well and good, but it shan't undo my actions, or bring anyone back. I must live with that. 1,000 words of thanks for meeting me here, Tristan. I know not what the future holds for us, but for the time being I must make myself scarce. Though, before I go, a parting gift. May Tristan make use of it better than I.
Go with the Sovereign's blessing, brother. And be careful. If you survive today only to be brought low by an agent of the Consul at a later point, I shall be most annoyed. Commander, this has all been draining. I need time to process what we've learned today. What I've done. Later, I hope we might discuss it. Commander, I've had some time to process what transpired with Virgil. Despite the manner of what Virgil has done, I cannot help but be glad I did not need to slay him. I can only hope he does not run afoul of further Sentinels. I still have much doubt about my path, but I don't believe Protectorate law is as ironclad as I once thought. Having good intentions does not spare you. Doing what you think is right does not spare you. This cannot be justice. Yet what can I do? More than 100 years of Protectorate society cannot be changed by a lone body. Can it? No. That is a step too far. Despite its flaws, I still believe in the Protectorate, if only the central idea behind its founding. No, but I can try to remain and make a difference where possible. I shall remain with the Protectorate, interpreting its laws through a moral instead of a punitive lens. Innocent until proven guilty is a novel concept, but it is worth a try. A drunken, disorderly subject once struck my faceplate with an electrical pitchball stick, resulting in a concussion. My head pounds worse now, but my heart feels lighter. When we began traveling together, I was not sure what to make of you. But your input throughout our time together has been invaluable. I deeply appreciate your hand in this investigation, Commander, and in entertaining my incertitude. Let us move forth to free Arcadia from injustice. I suspect there is a rock in my boot. Thankfully, an arbiter is... Speak freely.
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work? Report them for mental refreshment post-haste. Not just a good idea, it's the law.
Most passing strange. Back to it.
Who's that?
The duty of every protector subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency. What?
individual, if you ask me.
They hate our contentment. I like our contentment.
Awesome.
Medicament dispensement has concluded for today. Please proceed to the lecture hall. to request an
Perfect
exception.
society demands perfect thoughts.
Your siren's call of independent thought falls on a deaf mind.
Aw, a new face. Well, I'd welcome you to the Wellnetarium, but the designated subject reader ought to have attended to that by now. Admitting you question is the first step in your recovery. But worry not. Soon enough, with our help and a little work, you'll never question again. You've missed the daily medicament dispensement, if that's what you mean. But you should take that up with the medicament dispensement automech directly. I see you found the lecture as edifying as all the others here. Good, good. Head Refresher Gould provides us with daily lectures in audio cartridge form to steer group thinking. As they say, to think together is to together thrive. Upstairs in the audiovisual aids office, of course. Though that area is off limits to all subjects not a part of facility staff or security. How very interesting. Here, take my pass then. It grants access to all mid-privilege priority areas. You must mean the Lathe of Particularity. One assumes you haven't had a session with Head Refresher Gould yet. You'll soon learn. You'll feel ever so much better once your phrenometric peaks have been abraded.
Like stealing compost from a breadworm. Almost feel a little bad about it. She sure ain't asking many questions. Though I figure that's the aim of this refreshment nonsense. Bastards.
Greeting, unscheduled walk-in. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, how mentally refreshed are you feeling today? Noting dire self-diagnosis and ably displaying concern. My word. Inform the nearest refreshment facilitator without delay to book you a session in the Lathe of Particularity. I am responsible for providing each medicament dispensement. Has concluded for the day. Response. Medicaments are still... Farewell statement. May Greeting, unscheduled walk-in.
I've eyes on her, Miss Green.
quizzical. Back to it.
But... Aborting search! Huh? Search completed in a logical and timely manner.
Never more content.
Grass itchy. Aggressor's near.
Trust the plan. Preserve set progress. Sustain the help you with something?
Battle! Our command.
I've eyes on a miscreant.
This paradigm we serve supplies all we deserve. All subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the Sovereign. All it took was some light instruction and a restorative cocktail to abrade my imperfection.
The console provides, the system abides.
Could have sworn no one was due for hours. Wherever is your chart? Wait, you're not a patient. You're not even a Protectorate subject, are you? I see it now. You possess the telltale look of wonder and introspection.
Gonna assume this one's in charge. He's not nearly as kooky or unpleasantly pleasant as the others.
Well, out with it. Who are you? What an entirely implausible statement. Might as well have simply said, I'm clumsily attempting to infiltrate your facility. Really, how delightful. This presents a rare opportunity. To hone my argumentative skills against the inferior minds and bankrupt philosophies of our rivals. To what end are you here? Tell me truly. Speak plainly. Ah, for one of our adversaries, I'm sure. I have a proposal for you. I'll provide you what you wish if you debate me on the merits and failings of each group's ideology in a reasonably competent manner. There's a good sport. Do try to keep up. So, what of the Order, our former allies? Those cursed overthinkers, doomed to lives free of luxury, toiling away in ceaseless cogitation. What say you of them? My position is a burden gladly taken to ease the suffering of our subjects. I think so they don't have to ensure the paradigm runs ably. Their order is chaos to us. Though your point, while gratingly expressed, is noted, albeit grudgingly. What say you about Auntie's choice, then? Tell me, is there any value in the vapid emptiness of those corporate consumerists? That actually sounds to have some slight merit when you put it that way. I mean, such a system would leave behind the general public, though. All our friends and neighbors. Your point is not completely without worth, I suppose. Only mostly. In the Protectorate, we have the best of everything. Food, technology, a sense of belonging, freedom from doubt, worry, hard work. No, the others simply cannot compare. Me? Celebrated? No. Pride is a trap only an individualist would be ensnared by. Not someone like myself, of course, who thinks of our community's needs afore minding their own. That said, perhaps our rivals aren't utterly without merit. As they say, even a stuck chronometer on the wall is right twice a day. Oh, that does sound rather engaging. Regular discourse with near intellectual equals, likely less of them singing. Though, of course, it does depend what we'd be debating. Well, you've raised some interesting points, I suppose. Any other clever assertions you'd like to put forward before I fully evaluate your performance here? Her opinion to me would be largely irrelevant. While I appreciate all she did, of course, there are those who are visionaries, and those of us who enact vision, who make it real. Huh. Taken as a whole, that was the most engaging conversation I've had in... oh, well, couldn't even say. Yes, it's true. I am thoroughly disturbed by how much you made me question many long-held beliefs. But frankly, that was quite invigorating. Now, what next? Really? That's exceptionally flattering, and something I never would have considered before our belief-shaking conversation. But honestly, I do deserve it, don't I? Might I ask for a few additional particulars? For instance, what is the title of the role? My, that sounds wonderful. I shall head there straight away. Thank you so much for making this opportunity happen.
It is the duty of every Protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. What? Huh. That was certainly asinine. Perfect society demands perfect thoughts. Imperfection is impossible when the mind is a thing of symmetry. The console provides, the system abides. Subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler.
Stand ready. Our foes are close.
first. Live, love, laugh, purchase, and consume.
of what nature heedlessly assembled and thusly rebetted.
From pop guns
Can't tell the diff. I know. Folks been shooting at you. All right.
To be 110% wholly plus artificial.
You have the look of someone with murderous intent, but no, unfortunately.
Artificially enhanced existence. The conspicuous consumption of unavoidable embedded chemicals with Auntie's choice.
I see you're back from the Protectorate's little mind manipulation spa. All their secrets in hand, yes?
Our team at Proprietary Insight Acquisition has been salivating over the potential commercial applications of that process.
From his unnamed and clearly unimportant position within experimental operations. Welcome to your
Of course you did, my most trusted ameliorator. You never fail to amaze and impress.
Head Refresher Gould will fit right in, surely. Now, I assume you won't mind we have a few questions about the process. Our people will extract details about the pharmacology and methodology, and that will all no doubt prove useful. But we're most interested in the technology and its results.
Perhaps a strategic step backward to document index manager will refresh your info security fundamentals, Reggie. Congrats! You're now a file clerk. Clerk those files. Next is Elise.
Can't say I like the sound of that. Seems like they'd be difficult to market to.
How truly unfortunate. Those without desire or drive make terrible customers. They could barely even be considered consumers at all.
What else can you tell us about the place? Turn up any additional details? Anything especially marketable?
Your new role as integrating specialist will be far less stressful. And if you haven't heard your name yet, breathe easy.
Good to know, good to know.
Until next time.
That's certainly interesting. Intriguing, even. What else? Excellent. Well, here's your reward. Along with something extra for your effort. And more for converting Head Refresher Goulds to the joys of commerce. All right. For your next assignment, well, it's something of an organizational priority.
Congratulations! Your storied success has earned you a whole entire minute with our illustrious leader, Auntie Cleo!
So your preliminary chores are complete. Oh, finally, a contractor with a little backbone. Normally they flee or expire, leaving the work woefully incomplete. Ah, I remember you from before. Fairfield, yes? Tell me, as an outside agent, do you have any quandaries working with our organization? It's true, the old corporations cared little for the individual, whereas I'd like to see each and every one of our employees rise from the refuse heap, like I did. Do hope you'll forgive these two. They're competing for a rather significant promotion, you see. It tends to make employees fractious, like young ursopods cooped up in the den. So, you've been advancing a fairly radical idea with a group that, to date, we've considered our rivals. Certain communications have even been exchanged between our ship and the Order's headquarters. You've spoken to the delegates, yes? A cessation of hostilities could present any number of potentially profitable options, assuming we could work out favorable terms. Oh, my security team would never allow it, but a call like this over a secure line should be an acceptable alternative. Of course, Ruth would also need to agree. Perhaps if you were to perform a few useful errands for the Order, you might earn a meeting with her to propose the same. Have Ruth reach out when she's ready to talk, and I'll set up a call on a secure line next door.
Commander, I'm glad you're just as keen on aligning with Auntie as I am. It's the right choice. What you see is what you get. I suspect the Order would have given you the runaround on a deal. They're nice enough folk, reasonable or like, but they ain't equipped to rule. You saw how they could barely manage a refugee camp, let alone hold the archive. Sure, the folk here don't seem to trust Auntie's choice. But give it time. They'll see the difference between freedom and complete domination soon enough. Just as Tausetti did.
Business is good. We have positive bit flow. Our portfolio is diversified. But we can always do better. I'll give it to you straight in my quarterly underperformance review. First up, excessive...
Would it really? She's a natural leader. Decisive. She ain't gonna consult an abacus, 12 charts, and 3 hangers-on before making a move. Listen, normally I'd take issue with one person playing Kingmaker. That is to say, you, and especially the Earth Directorate. But time's too short, and the stakes are too high for tribalism. There'll be enough time for that later. For now, we need to ally with someone who can defeat the Protectorate and close the rifts. So whatever you decide, I'll support you. We should move on, unless you've got something for me.
Commendations on so successfully climbing the corporate rungs. When you meet with Auntie, be accommodating but also bold. Raise the issue performing more labor for Auntie's choice will inevitably bring our fair corporation into further conflict with the Order. So we only have one shot at this. Make it count.
There are so many reasons to shop for Auntie's Choice products. We have a wide range of goods.
I'd offer
every budget, from the most extravagant to the most big-minded. We have food and drink for every taste and meal you can imagine, plus a few more that you can't imagine, but that we can sell you recipes for. We are also the only retailers for parasite-free purple berries.
The term parasite-free indicates the fact that any kind of parasite found in an Auntie's Choice product is provided free of charge and is not the property of Auntie's Choice or its subsidiary companies, and the eating of said parasite absolves Auntie's Choice of any legal responsibility in perpetuity throughout the galaxy.
Always remember, commercialism is the foundation that Auntie's Choice Society is based upon. Not because we worship bits, but because of the system's glorious spurious efficacy. While the Protectorate decide what its subjects get, we respond to what you want through your decisions as consumers. What's more, we skip the frivolously lengthy approval.
From pop guns
Can't
to
tell the
self-propelled
difference between
cannons,
cover and
I have
concealment.
whatever size weaponry
Then
you need to make all your problems past tense.
Up to market when it can be enhancing people's lives now. As a responsible member of society, we allow you to take part in public product testing, respecting your right to risk a few pesky side effects as an early adopter. At Auntie's Choice, we understand that the marketplace is dynamic, efficient, well suited to the shifting needs of our populace. After all, that's what unbridled freedom's all about.
Moment of your time, Commander. Remember that matter on Cloister I mentioned earlier? Well, since we're here and all, thought we might take it up now. Might be hard to believe, but 20 or so odd years ago, I made a mistake. Feels like high time I righted it. Now I'm out and about again. That's where the error occurred, I believe. Others judged it such. I shut it down. Believe I was wrong to do so. For many years now, a former colleague of mine's been in a remote spot called Reasons Pass, on account of my decision. I try not to think about regret or remorse. I shut down her work. I was wrong. Stating that out loud is the furthest extent of my self-castigation. Her research was unconventional, surely. She was as well. I think with both, we could right things, get the Order back on its intended path. Do appreciate it. Saving the delegates from DeVries took considerable effort, dear. Of course you could, but you didn't. They still might have a role to play if we're to close the rifts. May all... If x is the square root of -1, and you distribute the two binomials together, then the coefficient is... Oh, sorry. Help you with something? Happy to provide unbiased observational data. More Commander Zane than Buddy these days. He's come a long way, followed his own grand plan. I dare predict he'll run the Earth Directorate one day, and good for them. Swimmingly. For once, I don't want to kill him and make his death look like an accident. The old hullhead actually grew a heart. Not even the Archive could have predicted that. She has an aptitude for killing, although it's quantity over quality with her. I'm glad she's on our side, but I'm still sleeping with my goggles on proximity alert mode. She possesses surprising scientific aptitude, particularly in the medical field. Good to see she's finally recognized her true value. Auntie's choice never deserved her. Her model is a design classic, and the aftermarket mods she received from Niles are most impressive. We'd be dead many times over without her. She makes me laugh more than anyone. Inquire away. I may very... This weather is quite conducive for cooling the archive, and unconducive for me feeling my fingers.